Hey, welcome to another episode of Paul vs. Food, and on today's episode we're going to make bagels, New York style bagels. If you're ready, let's get started. So here's what we need: bread flour, salt, barley malt, wheat gluten, and quick rise yeast. First thing what we'll do is we'll dissolve our malt syrup into some ice water. Next, we'll stir to dissolve it. And now we're going to add our bread flour to our mixing bowl. Next, we'll add our yeast. And then we'll add our gluten. I like to use a whisk to make sure everything is thoroughly combined. And now we're going to add our water with the malt syrup. Next, we'll use a dough hook to combine all the dry ingredients. Once they're combined, we'll add a little bit of salt, and we'll continue to mix until the dough begins to get smooth. We're going to dump it out on our workstation, and we're going to knead it until it's smooth and elastic. Next, we'll add some cornmeal onto a baking tray, and we'll divide our dough into 6 equal pieces. You can use a scale to check to make sure they all weigh about the same. This way they bake about the same. Now we're going to cover our dough with a little bit of cling wrap. And we'll take one out at a time and work them into a tight ball. We'll repeat this process for each and every piece of dough. Next, we'll take our dough with a rolling pin and flatten it out into basically a small circle, about 5 to 6 inches wide. Next, we'll roll it up tight, and then we'll roll it out to about 8 or 9 inches, keeping the edges the same thickness as the center. Now we'll give the dough a little bit of a twist, wrap it around our hand, and pinch the edges together. Then we'll roll them to smooth them out and place them on our baking tray with cornmeal. Repeat this for all the pieces. Now the extra rough treatment of the dough, the twisting, the rolling, this is all to help develop gluten, which gives it its chewiness. Next, we're going to cover them with a little bit of saran wrap. And we'll let them sit out for an hour. Now that they've risen a little bit, we're going to place them in the refrigerator for 24 hours to do a cold fermentation. The next day, we'll take them out of the fridge and we'll make our topping. I like to use a little bit of garlic, some poppy seed, a little bit of onion, some sesame seed, and a little coarse salt. This makes up the everything topping for your everything bagel. Next, in a large cooking pot, we're going to add some sugar and some baking soda. This helps to make sure the bagels brown evenly when you boil them. Next, we'll boil the bagels 20 seconds on each side. Remove them to the wire rack to cool slightly. Then dip one side down onto your toppings. Place them back on your tray. Next, we'll add a pan of water into our oven with baking stone at 450 degrees. Let that heat up for an hour, and then place our tray of bagels in the oven. The steam helps to develop a crispy outside shell. After about 10 minutes, remove the tray of water. Rotate your tray and push the bagels off onto the baking stone. Next, we'll continue to bake them for about another 10 to 12 minutes, but we're going to lower our temperature. You want to rotate them every few minutes to make sure they bake evenly. When they're a deep golden brown, it's time to take them out. Place them back on a wire cooling rack to cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Slice them open. Add some cream cheese or whatever toppings that you enjoy. Okay, here we go. Wow. That brings me back to New York. Oh my God, that's amazing. The outside is crisp. The inside is very dense and chewy, just like a good New York bagel should be. Well guys, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Paul vs. Food. If you like the episode, please subscribe to my page, give it a like, leave a comment, or follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Paul vs. Food. Take care now. Bye.